Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Amanda and today we are here with a little review. These are the golden maple brushes that I requested from the company. They reached out to me and asked if I wanted to review some of their products and I said yes because I really wanted some travel brushes. So I am really excited to use these. They came in a little bubble mailer like this and they had this little plastic thing, and then this is the little case that they come in, and it's actually really nice. It's a little brown case and it has golden maple etched in there with their little logo. The stitching is nice, the leather feels nice. I think it's fake leather though. And these are the three brushes that I chose. So we have them in different sizes. I'm unsure. Okay, they do say this, that's a 12, that's an 8, and we've got 6. So they come in these little plastic wraps. I'm just going to take them out of there and get rid of that. So we have the 12. They have golden maple written on them. As you can see, they're prone to fingerprints. They screw on and off. This is the actual brush itself. I'm unsure if you have to take this plastic off. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm just going to leave it on, but you screw it on and it becomes a brush. So, and it feels quite good. This part at the end feels quite light and then this is a bit heavier, but it feels good to me. I'm going to put this on autofocus because it was bugging me. There we go. They are coated in a protective coating that you will need to wash off. So you can see that it's splayed out quite a bit there. This is the 8. The 8 looks quite small to me. It looks like a 6, but they splay out again quite well. And I'll show you them in water as well. They look really nice and they feel like good quality brushes. This is the 6, which is very fine. And I'm hoping that when wet it comes to that kind of point, because that would be really nice to see. Those are the 3 brushes that I got. I will be primarily using these outside, but I thought I would test them inside first, just so that we can see what they are like without the pressures of being outdoors and trying to deal with plein air as well. So I'm going to use these and I will let you know what I think about them. Let's paint something, shall we? Okay, so now we are on to the portion of the video where I test these out, and I first started with Gouache. They are actually advertised as watercolour gouache ink brushes, so I thought they would be good for gouache as well. But I did think that they would be better with watercolour just because they are sable brushes and they're natural hair brushes. So really when you wet them and you use them, they kind of stay where you push them. So if you lean heavily on the left hand side of the brush, then it will kind of bend and stay that way until you move the brush to a different angle or you reshape it. And that's kind of what happens with these brushes. So anyway, they were quite dry with my gouache, so I decided to stick to watercolour with this one. I am painting on cellulose paper. I have no idea what paper it is, but I saturated it with a load of water. I didn't have to reload my brush to saturate the whole page. The page is an A5 piece of paper, and I was quite impressed with how much water and paint the number 12 holds. These brushes are a 3-pack of travel size brushes with a leather case, and like I said in the intro, they are a 12, an 8 and a 6. I'm using the 12 right now. So this I don't finish this painting in this video, just so that you know. I do skip to a different painting after this because I threw myself in at the deep end. If you know me, you will know that I switched to gouache some time ago, and I used to be a watercolour artist, but I decided to primarily use gouache from a certain time on until now, and then recently I kind of missed watercolour, so I went back to it. But this is the first piece that I've actually done or tried to do since I stopped painting a couple of months ago, and since I stopped using watercolour. So I kind of dove into the deep end here. The reference picture that I'm using, I took myself from a place called Alva Glen that my dad and I visited a couple of years ago, and there is a pipe in the middle of it kind of going diagonally into the forest. You can see a sort of outline of it there, and then there's a river on the left hand side and then dirt and leaves on the right, and then there's just foliage in the background. So it is quite a complex piece. There's a lot of elements to it. There's rocks, there's rivers, there's
bushes and trees and leaves and all of this stuff, and it was quite difficult for me to figure it out, so I decided to leave it. But to be honest, if I kept on going and persevered with it and had a little bit more patience, I think I could have worked it out. But I think one of the other reasons why I decided to pack this painting in is because I have a baby now and I had a 20-minute window to paint. So watercolour, if you know, is a very slow drying medium unless you speed it up with hair dryers or whatever, but I don't like doing that, so I've only used natural air to dry it, and it takes a while. So I decided to switch to gouache because I knew that I could get a full painting done within an hour throughout the week, just however long I had to paint in between nap times and stuff like that. So I kind of do some of the foliage in the background and then I give up. But to be honest, looking at it now, it's starting to really take shape, and I might, well, I say I might go back to it. I can't now because I was that frustrated that I ripped it up. But anyway, this is the new one, and the reference photo is from a challenge on Instagram that you can take part in yourself. It's called the Food Painting Challenge. I think you join the group, or you request to join the group, and they send a reference picture every week. I think it's on a Saturday for you to paint and post on Instagram with hashtags and tags of people and stuff like that. I'm not going to enter it with this painting just because I just don't want to. But I am wanting to take part in that challenge a little bit more, but there's going to be rules that I'm going to set for myself, and I will talk about that more in another video. But with this, I just wanted to try it out with these brushes just to see, because I was quite confident that I could paint this and be happy with the results, even though at the end it looks quite messy, but never mind. So I still at this point thought that I could get over using the watercolour, and I ended up just getting the background done, and then I had to go and tend to my child, so I decided to come back and use gouache later on. So it's a little bit easier and quicker, and I was a bit worried because I thought that these brushes wouldn't be really good with gouache because of my swatch tests, but actually using them in a painting is really easy and fun, and I enjoyed it. And that just shows that you probably are better to try painting materials out by using them to do a painting rather than just swatching, because a lot of people write art materials off after they swatch them because they didn't like the way that they felt when they were swatching them. But like I said, a lot of the time you just need to use them in practice, and I hadn't had much practice at all with any sort of art for a while, so I think that had a lot to do with it. I'm really sorry about that. I keep meaning to turn that off if you heard it. It's an automatic sprayer thing. I'm in my son's room because my partner and son are downstairs, and I don't like talking in front of them, even though I've been doing YouTube for like 10 years now. But anyway, moving on. That might happen again. Sorry about that. Anyway, yes, I moved to gouache, and I'm using, I think it's a mixture of Winsor & Newton gouache with some Holbein in there. I think there's only 2 Holbein colours there though. Most of it is Winsor & Newton gouache. So as you can see, it goes on perfectly fine, and it mixes well as well. As long as the gouache is fully saturated with water, you can use them very well with these. And as you can see there, it does come to a really nice point, and you have a lot of control with these. Now, I will say that I'm a twirler with my brushes. I do it automatically all the time, and I think it's because of the use of my silver velvet, because when I was a watercolour artist I used to exclusively use that brush, and it also stays where you put it when you lay down a like swipe or whatever. So I used to twist the brush so that I could use the other side and straighten it out a little bit, and I've kind of picked up that habit, so I cut it out a lot in this video, but if you see me twirling it when I'm thinking, it's because of that reason, and also just because, you know, it's it does help. It's actually for a purpose. It's not just a nervous tick that I have, even though I think that's when it began, because to be honest, I didn't start painting with that brush so I don't know why I started doing it. Anyway, so yes, just putting in some shadows and highlights and all that stuff here, all the different things that you do with paintings. But we're just here to talk about the brushes, and to be honest, I am quite happy with them, and they're not even that expensive. There's £24 for 3 brushes, and I think that's relatively decent for the price of natural hair travel brushes for 3 of them. I did get a Jackson's number 12 brush, which I'm excited to try. It's a travel brush, but I think that was the cost of 1 brush anyway. Sorry, I think that was the cost of all 3 of these brushes put together, so it was a little bit more expensive, or maybe it wasn't, I can't remember, but yeah, I had to, if you just seen that there, re-screw on the brush once when I was using it, and I think, like I said, it's because I twist the brush in my hand a lot. I think that's the reason it came loose. If you don't do that, you won't have that problem, and I don't think you will have that problem anyway, as long as you tighten it a little bit more than I did. I just had it loosey-goosey, hand tight. Now, I will say that I'm really sorry, but the video is a little bit blurry here just for a short period of time, just because I don't know what happened. I set my phone that's recording this video to manual focus, and I focused it on the painting, and then I must have touched it again or something, because it's not focusing on the painting at all. So I'm sorry about that, but we're just doing the finishing up parts here and putting in the end of the background, or the last parts of the background, and the little swatches at the bottom. So yeah, my last thoughts on these brushes is that they are really nice. I really like them. I like the weight of them. They feel really good in your hand. I didn't really notice that I was using travel brushes, to be honest. They just felt like normal brushes, and I had quite a good time using them. They came to a point I could control them very well with the water control and the amount of point that I had and the thickness of the brush and everything like that. So they were really nice to use, and I enjoyed them a lot, and I do highly recommend that you can go and buy them if you would like. I don't get any commission or extra payment for people buying them. I just thought that I would share them with you, and if I liked them then I would recommend them, and if I didn't then I wouldn't, but I do. So on you go and buy them if you want a set of travel watercolour brushes. I think that they are really nice, and I really do like the case that it comes with as well. So thank you so much for watching. Please remember to comment, like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much for your support, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.